A fantasizing knife slayer, the Kristen Wolf murders. On May 11, 2020, Kristen Wolf stabbed 3 people at an apartment on Portsmouth Avenue. Court documents provide frightening information about the former Department of Corrections employee, who has been charged with 2 murders. Prosecutors claim the suspect fantasized about killing people before the deadly stabbing. Victoria Cook, 24, and Dylan Dickover, 28, passed away. A third victim is still recovering. The victim, who is still alive, informed police that someone banged on the front door repeatedly the night of the stabbings. Cook unlocked the door, but as soon as she did, a woman in all black barged in and stabbed her in the neck. The perpetrator then made her way into the living room and stabbed the victim, who was still alive, in the neck. Dickover tried to stop the assailant by grabbing her from behind, but the attacker stabbed him twice, once in the leg and once over her shoulder. A man was upstairs, and when he came down to see what the commotion was, the attacker swiped at him with a knife. He ran back upstairs to find something to use as a weapon, but when he came back downstairs, she was gone. He called 911 and tried to stop his friends from bleeding until medics arrived. Cook died at the apartment, and Dickover died at Eskenazi Hospital. The surviving victim and the witness said they didn't recognize the attacker. They described her as a short, heavy-set woman weighing around 300 pounds, and she had strawberry blonde hair. They also told police her hat came off during the attack. In the apartment, police discovered a black knit watch cap-style hat. The words, Indiana Department of Corrections, were stitched around the edge of a circular patch that was sewn onto the front of the garment. Inside the hat was a tag with a handwritten name on it. The tag said Wolf. Investigators discovered Kristen Wolf worked for the IDOC, and her BMV information matched the description the witness provided of the attacker. When investigators searched her home, they found several combat-style knives and uniforms with patches identical to the patch on the hat found at the crime scene. They also found sheets of paper in her writing on her nightstand describing how she wondered what it would be like to kill someone, and she took inspiration from serial killers. She also wrote she considered killing her boyfriend or his wife, but she decided she didn't want to kill someone she knew. The second half of the writing said she wasn't planning to die, but she was prepared for it. It listed a short will that she signed. "This is definitely going to be an insanity defense," said attorney Jack Crawford. Attorney Crawford isn't connected to the case, but expects the issue of Wolf's mental health to raise other questions. If she suffers from mental disease, what was she doing working as a guard for the Department of Corrections? "My guess is she didn't have a history, or else she wouldn't be working there," said Crawford. One of the survivors said Cook knew Wolf's boyfriend, but had broken ties with him. They told police he was a violent person, and he trains women to kill. She was terminated from the Indiana DOC. 5 days after this incident, a spokesperson confirmed this as well. Wolf, a former Indiana Department of Correction worker, faces a potential sentence of 100 years in prison under a deal, in which she agreed to plead guilty to 2 counts of murder and other charges for a knife attack 2 years ago. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said on Tuesday, December 6, 2022, that Kristen Wolf, of Madison, also will plead guilty to attempted murder and attempted battery by means of a deadly weapon. "There is no place for this kind of violence and senseless attack in our society," Prosecutor Mears said. Pursuant to this agreement, Wolf will spend the rest of her life in prison. We continue to think of the families and all of those affected by the tragedy during this difficult time. Sentencing is set for January 20th. Now, here is my take on this case. I thought if you work at a prison or jail, you're supposed to act in a civilized manner at work and at home. Meaning, avoid getting into trouble under any circumstances, including arguing, fighting, and most definitely not killing anyone. Here are the job duties of a correctional officer. Enforce rules and keep order within jails or prisons. Supervise activities of inmates. Inspect facilities to ensure that they meet security and safety standards. Search inmates for contraband items. Report on inmate conduct. Escort and transport inmates. Okay, this woman did everything unethical, and then wrote a journal about murdering someone. She is sick. I have heard of women and men guards doing all types of stuff in prisons and jails. Like inmates paying them top dollar to bring cell phones, drugs, designer clothing, and shoes into prisons and jails all over the United States. Listen, let me tell you, no one will cost me my job or my freedom for any amount of money. Because in the end, the little money that they were being paid after they got caught and fired is not worth the risk. I am not sure what led this psychotic woman to those individuals' apartments she viciously killed. But this is why I don't open my door for anyone I don't know, nor do I go to the door. I don't allow people to pop up at my house under any circumstances. As we have come to the end of this tale, please support Crimes in Candyland by liking, sharing, and subscribing.